Alright, what is up, boys? It's Luke, back at it again with another fantasy video. Today's video will be on Waller versus Kittle and who you should be drafting in front of the other one, given the opportunity. Now, to dive right in, we're going to start with Darren Waller. Darren Waller had 145 targets, 107 catches, about 1,200 yards, and 9 touchdowns in 2020. No doubt a very successful season. And this success was in large part because of the Raiders' god-awful defense. The Raiders were 29th in points allowed, and although they did spend a lot of draft capital this year, including a second, 2/3, a fourth, and a fifth, filling the near endless holes on the defense, it'll more than likely take time for that defense to see significant improvement. And therefore, this inadequate defense will likely lead to an offense that has to pass the ball more and lead to more longer conversions for third down, leading to more passing-friendly situations, allowing Darren Waller to accrue more targets. Another thing Darren Waller really has going for him this year is that there isn't an established number one receiver on the Raiders, which by de facto makes Waller the number one option. Now, the team does have Henry Ruggs, John Brown, and Hunter Renfrow, but none of these guys have proven that they deserve more targets, leading me to believe that Waller will be force-fed again in order for the team to sustain drives and stay in games. Furthermore, the Raiders actually lost Nelson Agholor, and you can speak on Nelson Agholor as a good player or not, I'll let you guys debate that, but the bottom line is, the dude was second on the team in targets with 82 last year and was only behind Darren Waller. So the second leading target receiver is also gone, and there's nobody else to take a spot at all. So, although I suspect the Raiders will continue to run the ball with Josh Jacobs and Kenyon Drake now, I guess, a little bit, this shouldn't hinder Waller's value at all, because even if for some reason the Raiders aren't just like a pass funnel of a team, it's not really going to hinder Waller, because last year Derek Carr was 4 attempts over what would have been a career low in passing attempts, and Waller still had 145 of those targets. So you can see, even if the passing volume isn't there overall on the team, Darren Waller is getting a significant portion of the target share. Therefore, overall, a weak defense, a lack of wide receiver one, and a need to rely on Waller to win games will lead to another extremely productive fantasy year for him. Secondly here, we have George Kittle. Now, Kittle was injured for a lot of 2020, in and out of the lineup with some injuries, but he did average about 13.3 fantasy points per game in half PPR formats. And last year, the 49ers defense was 17th overall in scoring. However, like just about everybody on their team, they suffered a multitude of injuries that derailed a potentially top 10 defense. Therefore, I expect major improvements from this group in this upcoming season. Now, I expect the 49ers to continue to grind the run and stay in games with their defense. And what that means is there might be less of an opportunity share for George Kittle to truly accrue as many targets as Darren Waller. That definitely probably won't happen. Probably. That in all likelihood won't happen. George Kittle also suffers from uncertainty at QB, and this may also hinder his production a little bit. Now, although Kittle has proven to be effective with Jimmy G at QB, I suspect that Trey Lance will take over the starting role at some point, leading to even more uncertainty at the position. Now, there is this myth, though, that rookie QBs rely more on their tight ends, and I'm here to debunk that. According to 4for4, tight ends with rookie QBs that started at least 8 games between 2001 and 2005 saw an average decrease in targets by 2.45%. Now, although this number may not be super significant, it does prove that rookie QBs do not favor their tight ends. Therefore, Trey Lance may not be any sort of upgrade over Jimmy G, at least for this upcoming year. Another thing that sort of hinders George Kittle compared to Waller is that the 49ers have a significantly better receiving core than the Raiders, potentially leading to more targets going towards the wide receivers than Kittle. So, predictably, Kittle will have less of a target share in that offense. Now, Deebo Samuel and Ayuk are significantly better players than Henry Ruggs and John Brown, and should eat up a higher percentage of team target share, like I mentioned. What this means is that Kittle will have to be much more efficient than Waller in order to turn in better value, and I would rather take the guy that has basically a pass funnel built around him than a guy that I'm relying on to be more efficient, just like in general. But overall, a strong defense, a strong-ish receiving core, and uncertainty at QB may lead to Kittle having a less than expected year in terms of production. Therefore, because of all that mentioned, I would take Darren Waller as a tight end 2 in this year's draft ahead of Kittle. Although I believe Kittle is the better player overall, Waller has proven to be a reliable fantasy option and is in a better position to be a target funnel for this team. You guys let me know in the comments what you think. These are just my thoughts. I would take Darren Waller ahead of Kittle and currently his ADP on underdog reflects that statement now, although Kittle was in front of him there for a while. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. See you in the next one.